Liking this video will help this channel to grow. So please go ahead and give this video a like. Welcome to section 2 of our expanding binomials and polynomials lesson. In this part of the lesson, you will be expanding double brackets. If you have not yet watched section 1, it's a good idea to do so, as this is a continuation of this topic. So guys, remember to like and share this with as many people as you can, as it will simply help the channel to grow. Now, let's start by defining a binomial. The algebraic expression, which contains only two terms, is called a binomial. Of course, the prefix bi means two. Binomials, however, are one type of polynomials. So two terms exactly. So if you look here, we've got 5y cubed minus 3. 5y cubed is one term and minus 3 is the other term. So those are two terms. Now, a polynomial, when we talk about polynomials, we're talking about algebraic expressions which contain many terms. The prefix poly means many, so it could be two or more terms, and then we've got a polynomial. Now, let's talk about how we expand two brackets. Now, by now, you should have watched the video on expanding single brackets and collecting like terms and know what like terms are. So if you haven't watched that, make sure that you watch the first video on expanding single brackets. So when we expand two brackets with the same variable inside, the result is called a quadratic expression. Now, I also have lessons on quadratics, factorizing them and so on the channel, so you can go ahead and make sure that you interact with those as well and learn about quadrilaterals. So a quadratic, not quadrilateral, quadratic. So a quadratic expression is an algebraic expression whose exponent, the largest exponent, is a power of 2. So once an algebraic expression has a square term and the square term is the highest power, it is a quadratic. So if you look here, I've got coefficient, I've got ax squared plus bx plus c. So because this 2 here is the largest power, then we've got a quadratic expression. Beautiful. So whenever we expand two brackets, these are the steps we follow. So step 1, we must multiply each term in the first bracket by each term in the second bracket. So each term in the first must be multiplied by each term in the second bracket. Now, after we've done that, we would have listed all the terms, and we simply collect our like terms and simplify where possible. And you would have seen this in the first one, so we would have had the experience of simplifying. Beautiful. So now we're going to go into our first example of expanding two brackets. Now in this example, all the terms in each binomial is positive. So we are asked here to expand and simplify. In one bracket we've got x plus 3, and in the other bracket we've got x plus 8. Now there are two methods that we could use. I'm going to show you in this first example both methods, but in the second example I'm just going to choose one method. In the third I'll do the other, just to revise that rather than doing them all in one question. So we can use the grid method or the foil or arrow method. So if we're going to use the grid method, what we need to do is to set out each polynomial, each binomial in the first grid, and also we're doing across and we're doing vertical as well. So you can see here the first one I've got x and add 3. And for the second one, I've got x and add 8. So I've set up my grid. All I need to do is to multiply them and put my terms in each section of the grid. And then I will collect them and simplify. So I go ahead and I do x times by x, which gives me x squared. Then x times by positive 3 gives me positive 3x. Very important to write that plus. Then positive 8 times by x gives me positive 8x. Then positive 8 times positive 3 gives me positive 24. When I'm finished doing that, I will write them all out in one statement. So this is the part, step 2, where I'm listing them all. So I've got x squared, I've got positive 3x, I've got positive 8x, and I've got positive 24. Last step is to collect the like terms. So we can see only 3x and 8x are like terms. So I'm going to keep my x squared. 3x add 8x is 11x, and my constant here is 24. So that's my final answer. I can see the largest power is a square, which means that this expression is a quadratic. Now on to the FOIL method. So for the FOIL method, F means first. I'm going to do so x add 3 and x add 8. So I need to do x times by x, which is my first. So x times x is x squared. I then do the outers. So 2 outers is x times by 8, which is positive 8x. Then I'm going to do I is for inner. So the inner ones are 3 times by x is 3x. And then L is for the last. So the 2 last ones are 3 times by 8, which is 24. I just need to now simplify the middle terms, which is the b term of my quadratic. So 8 add 3 is 11. So that's 11x plus 24. I can see both methods give me the same answer. So you can go ahead, rewind the video, watch both methods, and pick the one that you prefer. So in the next example, I'm going to do the grid method only, and you can practice the FOIL on this question. You should get the same answer. So in this one term in both binomials is negative. So this is just to help with my negative manipulation. So I draw my grid up. I put my first binomial at the top and my second binomial on the side. So 2x minus 3 and x minus 5. We go ahead, we multiply. So x times 2x gives me 2x squared for the answer there. X times by minus 3 gives me minus 3x. Then I've got minus 5 times 2x, which gives me minus 10x. And minus 5 times minus 3 gives me positive 15. Now I just need to write them all out. Step 2. So I've got 2x squared minus 3x minus 10x and positive 15. Again, only my b term, which is the ones in the middle, are like terms. So I keep my 2x squared minus 3x and minus 10x gives me minus 13x, and my constant is positive 15. So that is how I expand my binomials, 2 brackets, and collect my like term. You see the pattern? It's the middle terms, which is the b term of my quadratic, that will always be the like terms. The first and the last ones will remain the same. Beautiful. So we go to our next example. For this one, I will now use the arrow or FOIL method. So we are asked to interleave area in this question. So we're asked here, do the shapes below have the same area? So in order for us to do that, we need to work out the area of each shape and then compare them. So the area, I'm just going to call this shape 1, shape 2. So for shape 1, I will need to do x add 4 and x add 6 and expand that. So x times x gives me x squared. X times by positive 6 gives me positive 6x. X times by 4 gives me 4x. And 4 times by 6 gives me 24. I just need to add the terms in the middle. So 6 plus 4 is 10. So that's 10x plus 24. So that's the area of the first shape. Now I need to find the area of shape 2. A compound shape, so I'm going to split this one in 2 shapes. So I'm just going to call this part 1, this part 2. So this is shape 2. So x times x, very simple, that's just a square. So x times x is equal to x squared. So that's for the first part. For the second part, I just need to do 12 times by x add 2. So I'm multiplying the length here by the width there. So 12 times x gives me 12x, and 12 times 2 gets me 24. But remember, I also need to add back the x squared. So it's x squared plus, I've got 12x here, plus 24. All I need to do now is to compare them. So area 1 is x squared plus 10x plus 24. Area 2, x squared plus 12x plus 24. Very close, but they are not the same. One is 12 for the x term and the other is 10 for the coefficient. So our answer is no. They do not have, you could write it out, no, they do not have the same area. So the answer is no. So now we do our last question, then our key takeaways. So we're told here that we've got rectangle ABCD and the area of the rectangle is 230 centimeters squared. We are to show that x squared plus 9x is equal to 216. So what we need to do is to go ahead and do our multiplication of both sides, the length. So we've got x and 7 here. That is x plus 7 for that side. We've got x and 2 here, so putting them together, that's x add 2. We know the area is equal to 230, so we're going to make this equal to 230. So let's expand our bracket. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 7 times x is 7x, and 7 times 2 is 14. We're going to now simplify. So in the middle, we know we will simplify. So that's x squared plus 9x plus 14 equal to 230. So we want to get to 216. So we need to subtract 14 from both sides. So we've got x squared plus 9x left on this side equal to 230. Take away 14 is 216. So there we have it. We have proven that the area is x squared plus 9x is equal to 16. Beautiful application of that. So now guys, we will now do our key takeaways. So the first thing we spoke about was that once we've got an expression with two terms, that's called a binomial, and a polynomial has many terms. The polynomial has at least 2 or more terms. We also talked about the fact that when we're expanding brackets, if we expand 2 brackets, the result is called a quadratic expression. The highest power will always be a square. We also looked at the fact that if we're going to do so, there are just a few steps to follow. Step 1, we multiply the terms inside the first bracket by the terms inside the second bracket. We list all our terms out, then we collect and simplify by collecting the like terms. Absolutely fantastic. Now guys, you should be better able to expand your single and now also your double brackets as well. So you should be looking forward to expanding 3 brackets, and that's going to get us into cubic expressions. Absolutely brilliant. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the other videos are uploaded. Guys, thank you so much for watching.